Hey folks, how's everybody doing out there? Hope y'all doing well. I'm going to just tell a story about an experience I had checking into a hotel not too long ago. The name of the hotel, it doesn't matter. This is basically, if you've never been to the Philippines, just to make you aware of certain things that you may be asked at check-in, just certain procedures. And also I'm going to talk about why I never stay in adjoining rooms, so a little bit of hotel security. So if either one of those topics interests you, then stay tuned. So we get on a bus for we were almost 6 hours on a non-aircon bus, headed down to Cebu City. The weather wasn't too hot. It wasn't like it was, for the past 5-6 months, like just totally felt like we were in an oven here. But still, we're on a non-aircon bus. We prefer the non-aircon bus because it's open. Fatima doesn't like riding on the aircon bus. But regardless, when you sit on a bus for 6 hours, sitting in traffic, doing a little sweating at times when the bus isn't moving, and then you stop at a rest area, and that's another issue too. If you've never been to the Philippines, the biggest challenge about traveling around this country, I think that most foreigners find is the bathroom conditions. Here they call it the CR, the comfort room. You'll go into a CR, there's water everywhere on the floor. The men, there'd be a lot of times there'd be some type of trough to piss in. There's never any toilet paper. Usually there's never any running water. A lot of times there's not even a bucket with a tabo next to the toilet. There'll be buckets or trash cans full of water out front with a tabo in it, and you're like, okay, how in the hell am I going to go back there and drop a deuce and get this water back there? A lot of times it's a mystery. And so that's one thing that you need to be aware of. The CR conditions are worse than going to a gas station bathroom in the States. There's no soap, and you'll find it challenging. And if you've never traveled outside the West before, I would say you almost might find it shocking. So with that said, a lot of people, when they're traveling from point A to point B, they're not going to go in there and sit down on a toilet and try to drop a deuce. They're going to wait until they get to the hotel. They're going to hold it, right? So when foreigners that are traveling around get to a hotel, they need a quick check-in process. And this is advice to any hotel owner out there if you're not thinking about these things. And it's common sense that most travelers, when they get to the hotel, their biggest hurry is they need to use the bathroom. Well, if you have foreigners checking into your hotel that look like they've never been to the PI before, assume that's what they need to do, because they're not used to these restroom conditions out on the road or at the bus stops or what have you. So we're traveling with 2 small children. They've been on the bus all day. We get to the hotel. I'm looking for a quick, seamless, just give me my room key so I can get these children up to the CR, get them a shower, a Ligo, get them cleaned up. And then once I get them all straightened out, then I can, get in there and wash some of this sweat off of me that I've accumulated over 6 hours riding a bus. So we go into this hotel. It's a big long caveat. So we're going to this hotel, and it's a fairly nice hotel, and everybody's very friendly. And that's one of the reasons I'm not going to talk about the name of the hotel. It's too easy that people will leave a bad review online, and it does. It affects people's decision whether or not they're going to stay there. Anyhow, nice gentleman at the front desk. And I come up there, okay, sir, may I have your passport? Okay, no problem. And then he says, can I see a copy of the Agoda booking form, the booking verification, whatever it is, right? Your booking itinerary. Now, I booked the room earlier in the day on Agoda. It's paid for by credit card, paid in full. No problem. And I said, man, I don't have a printer at home. I didn't print it out. Sorry. Okay, sir, well, just show it to me on your phone. I said, dude, I don't carry a phone. I don't have a phone. And of course, at that point, he's just looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and he probably thinks I'm being difficult or being an asshole, but I truly don't carry a phone anymore. Since that girl in Angeles City stole my iPhone, had that little saga, I haven't carried a phone since then. And I truly owe that girl a debt of gratitude. Is that the words? Because she really helped simplify my life and put things into perspective and put priorities where they need to be. And it's not staring at a damn iPhone all day. She's given me so much more time, less stress. The only phone I have this old, or not old, it's an Android of some sort. I will pop a SIM in there and carry that when I travel so I can talk to the old lady on Telegram. That's the only thing I'm logged in on that phone. So, and I don't even know if I had it with me. So literally, truthfully, when I told this cat, I don't carry a phone, man, he thought I was lying, right? What person in their right mind this day and age doesn't carry a cell phone? Probably thinks I'm just being a jackass, but I wasn't. And he said, well, sir, can you email me the Agoda itinerary? Now, this in general, and again, nothing against the young gentleman. He's just following protocol, following his checklist, doing what he's supposed to do for his job. But in general, this is what pisses me off, is that this is a management problem. When I say it's a management problem, when somebody books on Agoda, you can see that shit on the back end. You can log in. All that stuff is interconnected. A lot of people are using a system that, syncs everything up. If you're taking bookings on Agoda, you know when somebody books a damn room, and you can see that. Now, maybe the clerk out front doesn't have access. I get it. And so management is, checklist. Step one, get a copy or get the booking number, what have you. All you're doing is pissing people off like me. You're pissing off guests, wasting my time, because all I'm thinking about is getting that key and going and taking a big long piss. And now you're hustling me and hassling me for an Agoda booking form that you can see that information already. Okay? People are traveling. They're obviously not going to print that crap out. And most people have an iPhone and they can show it. What if the iPhone's dead? It's low bat. What are you going to do? Tell the guy to go plug his phone in for 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Sit in the lobby until you can pull up the form? No, that's unacceptable when you can see that shit on the back end. So, we're kind of looking at each other, and I'm like, look, man, I can email it to you after I get to my room, get the kids settled, get me a shower, and I open my laptop and I will email it to you. But I'm not digging into that Pelican case here in the lobby in front of all these people, putting my password in, putting the password to your Wi-Fi, and standing here for 15 minutes getting my laptop up and running. That's not happening. Okay? You're just going to have to trust me. I'll email it to you once I get settled up there. So he gives me the email thing. Now, obviously I'm already getting frustrated. And so the kid says, and, sir, something about I'll waive the 3,500 pesos deposit or something like that. And I said, man, I appreciate that very much. I just, I need to get these kids up to the room, man. They're getting rowdy and restless. That ticks me off too. Not the gentleman, but the policy. Have a lot of hotels here. Even if you pay by credit card, whether you book on Agoda, direct through their website, when you show up, they're going to hassle you and hustle you for a cash deposit. Now, if you're running a hotel where the rooms are 1,000, 1,500 a night, somewhere in there, and a person pays in cash, well, yeah, it makes sense. Hey, give us some type of deposit, because if they steal the towels and run out the front door, you have nothing on them. You got no credit card. I get that. But if you're running a hotel with a price point over 100 US dollars, and a person has paid in full, no refund policy, via credit card, I don't think it's good practice to hustle them for 3,500 pesos. I've had them ask me for 5,000 pesos, 100 US dollars in cash to hold as a deposit, because we don't want to deal with that. Travelers don't want to deal with that. Say you've been island hopping and there was only 1 or 2 ATMs, on the island, what have you. A lot of times they're out, and now you're getting low on cash. You check in the hotel late at night, you're going to hit the ATM tomorrow, and then here they go wanting all your cash. Okay? I think that's a bad practice. People will say, I'm never going to stay there again, because they hustle me or hassle me for all my damn cash. If a person is paying by credit card over 100 and something US dollars, what I've said before, I'm like, hey, no problem, just put it on the card. And some hotels will do that. You check into the Hilton or places like that. Hey, you want us to put it on the card? Yeah, just put it on the card, no problem. But hotels like this and on down, even if you pay by credit, they want that cash. That's the problem I have. Problem number 2 is nowhere is it posted or you notified of how much you got to pay. It's a huge surprise if you've never traveled in this country when you show up and they're holding their hand out wanting 5,000 pesos cash deposit. I've told this story before, but basically, in some places are very stringent about it. Check in this place in Manila like 2 in the morning, planning on getting up, eating breakfast, going to the ATM the next day, 2 in the morning, and want like 5K. I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, it's late, I'm tired, I just get it to you tomorrow. Oh no, sir, we got to have it now. All right, where's your ATM machine? Oh, it's like 2 or 3 blocks over, sir. You can avail that. Use the word avail. I said, I'm not going to avail the ATM machine at 2 o'clock in the morning and get robbed by some ladyboys, on the way back. It's not happening. You just let me know what you want to do. Either give me the room key or I'll go somewhere else. But I'm not walking 3 blocks over at 2 in the morning just to give you cash money for a deposit when nobody said anything about it. That pisses me off, and I'll never stay there again. I haven't stayed there since then, and I won't promote the place anymore. So the gentleman waived the fee or the deposit. Like, thank you very much. And then comes a big long paper. Most of the time you got to sign something, right? Hey, no smoking. All right, I got it. But the problem is, this piece of paper had all these fees on there. If you mess up you mess up a towel, it's this. If you mess up the comforter, it's this much. And he's like going line by line. I'm like, dude, just show me where to sign. I know not to smoke in the room, and if we break something, we know. I don't need you to go line by line explaining this price list. That's like 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back, knowing how much the towels cost at this hotel if I spill grape juice on them. I don't need to know that, man. It was too detailed, I guess is where I'm. Make a generic, my hotel owners, make a quick form that says, hey, don't smoke in the room, anything damn, make it very simple and get them to sign it. But don't waste 5 minutes of their time talking about how much the towels cost. It's too much. After this is over, finally get the key. Thank you very much, my friend. And it reminds me one more time, email them the go-to thing. Okay. Get in the elevator, go up. Now, the elevators are small, so the gentleman with the cart with all our luggage, he's like, okay, I'll come up behind you. Okay, no problem. We go, and I got a suite. It was only not too much more to get a suite. You look at which ones come with the free breakfast and what have you. So it was cheaper to get the suite, come with the 2 free breakfasts, than it was to get a regular room and try to pay for the breakfast. Fatima loves the breakfast buffet. I said, okay, no problem. We'll get this suite, give everybody a room tour. It's actually a pretty decent price point. Open up the door, and nice big open suite, you know, like a 1-bedroom. I look to my left, and what do I see? Boom. Well, boom, that picture right there. That's the first thing that catches my eye. The door is ajar. There's no little metal, what do you call that, on the latch, on the door, the plunger, whatever it is. It's missing. There's nothing but wood. It looks like it's been jimmied before, right? And it's ajar. So that was my welcome to the suite. Now, Fatima doesn't pay any attention. She's just taking the kids back around. Oh, it's a nice room, blah, you know, taking the kids to the bathroom, what have you. And all my focus is on that security threat right there. Number one, I don't stay in adjoining rooms. And I usually ask, but this time I didn't because of all the other stuff that was going on. I let my guard down, and I didn't ask intentionally because I didn't want to create any more problems. I just rolled the dice, and it got burned, so to speak, right? Boom, adjoining room. The door is ajar. It's not secure. So I go over there and I'm like, well, maybe it's the bathroom, you know? I mean, because who in their right mind would stay in this room, and how would management allow this room to be rented that's an adjoining room with that door looking like it just got picked, like it just got jimmied? So I go over there, start pulling on it, and like the bottom would come loose, and I was like, I didn't pull too hard, so I don't know if I'd have yanked on it, it would have come open. Maybe there was a brick wall on the other side. I don't know. Maybe there was a door that was nailed shut. I don't know. But I didn't get that far, because when I pulled on that thing and the bottom would go like that, and looking at it, I said, absolutely not. We're not staying in this room. We're not staying in any adjoining room, especially in this hotel, because if that's acceptable, that doesn't inspire any confidence in me to stay in any adjoining room. So the gentleman come up with the bags. I said, man, I said, hold that. I said, we're going back down to the desk, front desk. He's like, is there a problem? I said, yeah, right there. I said, is that a CR or, and it's, at one point I said, well, maybe that's a hot water heater, right? Maybe that's a room to the hot water heater. And I said, where's that room lead? He said, oh, that's an adjoining room, sir. And I said, that's what I thought. I said, you see that right there? I said, there's no way I'm staying in this room, man. You know, nothing personal, but it ain't happening. 2 reasons. I don't stay in adjoining rooms. Number 2, that right there. So we go back down, I explain it to the guy. And he said, well, sir, we don't have any more suites available. Or no, he said all of our suites have adjoining rooms. I said, man, just give me any room that's not adjoining and I'll be fine. Well, but sir, we can't give you a refund. You know, it'll be a room downgrade. I said, dude, I don't care. I said, I don't care about the money, okay? As long as I still get the free breakfast, just give me a room that's not adjoining. Because I said, I don't stay in adjoining rooms and the door is not secure. Well, we can have maintenance come look at it. Nope. Absolutely not. Dude, you've already lost my confidence in your security protocol for adjoining rooms. So, not happening. Anyhow, so the gentleman gave us a regular room, and nothing wrong with the room. It was fine, just a regular room. I probably lost, say, 1,500 pesos on the downgrade, if you want to look at it like that. But hey, well, 1,500 pesos a night. So say I overpaid by 3K. But how much is your life worth? How much is security worth? So let's talk about adjoining rooms for a second. Then I'll tell about the other funny frustration. Why are adjoining rooms, in my mind, such a security threat? It's another entry access point that you have to defend, that you have to be concerned about. You just double your chances of somebody getting in your room. It's just simple math. It's sort of like when I'm traveling, I wear these Columbia rock pants. I think it stands for rugged outdoor chinos. Anyhow, they have a hidden zippered pocket behind the right pocket on the pants, right? And I keep everything in there zipped up. I put some bait money in my front pockets, 20, 40, 50, 100 pesos. So if anybody tries to come by and pickpocket me, if their hands go in my pocket, they feel cash, and they're out and they're gone. They're not getting to my passport, my real cash, my credit cards. They're secured. And it's all by design. And it's one pocket. Why do I put everything in that one pocket? Because I have to defend one pocket. All right. Even though the pants have back pockets, 5, 6, 7 pockets, whatever it is. If you get into a crowd and people start getting close to you in your space, bumping up against you, you defend one pocket. That's it. It's sort of like when you're a police officer. Okay. Some people elect to carry one weapon, and some people elect to carry a backup weapon on their ankle, or say on their vest, concealed inside their uniform. What's the problem with carrying 2 weapons? Well, if you get into a fight, into a physical hands-on confrontation, now you have to defend 2 places, 2 weapons, or that guy's going to take that weapon from you and shoot you with your own gun. So there's pros and cons to carrying 1 weapon, and there's pros and cons to carrying 2. It's sort of the same way with how I just defend one pocket. I put all my eggs in one basket, but I can defend that basket more efficiently than if I have to defend multiple pockets. And that's how a lot of people get pickpocketed, in my experience, is that they have too many valuables in too many places, and you can't defend truly more than one spot, if that makes sense, right? Yeah, okay, it makes sense to spread load things, but if you're going to spread load stuff, they have to be very concealed. And I'm not saying don't put an emergency hunter in your shoe or something like that, but if you've got passport over here, you got credit cards over here, it's much easier that you're going to lose something. Okay. Anyhow, moving right along. So anyhow, we're in the room. We get in the room. It's no problem with the room. And the phone rings. It's like, I don't know, been there 10 minutes. The phone rings. Sir, did you email me the Agoda? I'm like, dude, I've only been here 10 minutes, man. And during the conversation, the wire to the telephone is frayed or something, right? So I can't hear half of what he's saying. He can't hear half of what I'm saying. I'm trying to plug this thing in and fix. I'm like, dude, I can't hear you, man. The wire on the telephone is broke. Oh, sir, you want me to send you up a new telephone? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get in this. I said, man, if you can hear me, just give me 15 minutes. I'll email you this damn Agoda thing. Just wouldn't let it go. And I'm not blaming him. It's a management problem. Because he's just doing what he's trained to do. He don't want to get in trouble with his boss, and here he is, let the foreign guy go up there and check in without this copy of this damn booking form. So I'm not blaming him. It's a management issue. Anyhow, and so that's sort of my story. I guess to recap the points. Number one, in my opinion, any adjoining room is a security threat. It's an additional door to defend, additional access point. I don't stay in adjoining rooms. Number two, if you're traveling to the Philippines, make sure you have cash on hand, because any hotel you check into is subject to ask you for, say, up to 5,000 pesos cash deposit, even if you pay by credit card. With that said, I always recommend you never let your cash go below 10,000. Really 20K. But always have at least 10K. So if you have 12K in your pocket, you need to start looking for an ATM machine. Never let it go below 10K. And if you really want to be safe, never let it go below 20K. Because the ATM machines around here run out of money on the weekends, well, a lot of times. Or if you've got a brownout, the ATM machines don't work. Or if you're on some islands, maybe they're not readily available. So never let your money I would say go below 20K. And say you use the 10K rule and you go check in a place, now you only got 5K until you can find an ATM. So keep that in consideration. If you book online, they want to see that booking thing on the phone. So just be prepared to show that to them. What else can I say? Patience. If you come here, patience. And here's the other thing. You know, local folks, they're so much more patient than we foreigners are. I think that's an accurate statement, at least in my opinion. You know, Filipino folks are very patient. They're used to waiting. They're used to waiting patiently, where we are driven by time and by the clock. Hey, we're wasting time. We're wasting time. They don't think like that here. So you have to slow it down, exercise some patience. But with the same sense, the hotel owners, I'm not saying give foreigners special treatment. But when they go to check in your hotel, understand, if it's their first time here and they've been on a bus all day and not used to navigating these CR conditions, it is a little bit more urgent for them to get checked in. Again, not because they're special, but because they're not, how do I say it? If they got to take a dump, they're holding it until they get to the room. They're not going to use these CRs around here because they don't know how to navigate it. Does that make sense? We Westerners are used to different bathroom conditions. I've been over here a long time. I'm used to it. But the first time traveler is not going to be. Folks, as always, I don't claim to have all the answers to life. I just hope to invoke thought. Maybe you learned something, maybe you thought about something during this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, my friends. That's all I got for now. Have a good one.